Secretary Moniz, I read with great interest the President's recent executive order planning for federal sustainability in the next decade. I was pleased to see that it recognizes thermal power as one of the ways in which the federal government can address its energy needs. And as I know you know, because you're from the Northeast, we use a great deal of home heating oil in the Northeast. New Hampshire has the second highest percentage of homes using home heating oil. And one of the exciting things about thermal biomass is that it offers an alternative for homes and businesses in New Hampshire, and also contributes to our timber economy in the state. And I've had a chance to visit the White Mountain National Forest Supervisor's Office in Campton, New Hampshire, where they've installed a 90% efficient gasification pellet boiler system that's been very beneficial to them. And so I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the potential that you see in thermal biomass and what the role of DOE can be in promoting that or encouraging its use, not just across the federal government, but in other ways that are beneficial to homeowners like in New Hampshire.
Thank you. Well, thermal biomass, of course, it tends to be regional in terms of its attractiveness, and certainly in New England, there's a long history of doing it in industry, paper industry, et cetera, forestry. Then there's a second dimension comes in to co-firing, for example, in parts of the country with, for example, coal plants. One way of addressing CO2 emissions is by co-firing. In fact, some even would say that with enough biomass co-firing and capture, one could even have negative CO2 emissions. So that's a very interesting development. And then, as you referred to, the developments in terms of pellets and pellet stoves is also something that actually has a non-trivial potential if it were fully exploited. But these are all interesting areas with.
What do you mean by a non-trivial potential?
Well, I think in the sense of participating. I mean, producing essentially heat or electricity at a significant level, not 50% of electricity or heat, but not 0.5% either. So somewhere in between. Yeah.
And can you talk about the role of the Department of Energy in encouraging, looking at the use of thermal biomass throughout the federal government, what kind of an alternative it might provide, and what other opportunities there are for DOE to help educate people about those opportunities?
I think I think there are some programs that have gone on in terms of also helping support pilot semi-commercial scale projects especially with wood biomass. But I have to say, perhaps we should go back and look at the question whether we need to take a more coherent view of that and carry out some of the educational activities that you said. I don't know, Lynn, if you want to add anything. No.
I don't have anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We'll do that.
That would be great. I would encourage you to do that. I know that there is legislation that has authorized but has never been appropriated money to encourage some district heating through biomass.